After 4 nights of violence in Ferguson, Missouri, and with no end in sight, the president and the governor today took action. Governor Jay Nixon put state police in charge of security in the St. Louis suburb, where local police have fought with demonstrators protesting the fatal shooting of an unarmed black man by a white police officer. The president interrupted his vacation to call for calm. He said there is blame for the violence on both sides.
There is never an excuse for violence against police or for those who would use this tragedy as a cover for vandalism or looting. There's also no excuse for police to use excessive force against peaceful protests or to throw protesters in jail for lawfully exercising their First Amendment rights.
We have 2 reports tonight on the small town that's become the focus of the nation. First, Mark Strassmann in Ferguson. Mark?
Scott, you can see behind me about 75 protesters in front of Ferguson Police Headquarters. The new police commander's goal here is to ease tensions and rebuild trust on the streets.
No peace, no justice, no peace.
Police here say they will not stop a peaceful protest. But that's exactly what Liz Panato says she was doing when heavily armed police rolled in on armored vehicles early this morning.
115 pounds, 4'11". I was seated on the floor with my peace sign and being yelled at by large men.
With a gun pointing at your head?
With the gun pointed at me. And so when he grabbed me out of the car, he was grabbing me pretty tight. And so I said, "Sir, I'm a really tiny woman. You don't have to grab me that hard."
Tear gas and smoke bombs were used to scatter protesters. Police say some people threw objects, including Molotov cocktails.
Why do you have guns on us?
In this cell phone video, you can see a police officer aiming his weapon at demonstrators. Many police had semi-automatic rifles. Those protesters who did not quickly respond to police commands, including journalists, were taken into custody. Dinah Tatzman, a Baptist minister, says she was goaded by one officer.
He wanted to taunt me to resist, and when I said, "You don't know who I am," he took my arms and yanked. "Oh, you're trying to resist." I said, "Don't do it."
After 4 nights of unrest in which one person was critically wounded, Missouri Governor Jay Nixon promised a change in tone. He appointed State Highway Patrol Captain Ron Johnson to command the operation.
I grew up here, and this is currently my community and my home. And therefore, it means a lot to me personally that we break this cycle of violence, diffuse attention, and build trust.
The investigation into Michael Brown's death could take 2 more weeks. Ferguson police say Brown tried to grab the gun from the unidentified white officer. But 2 witnesses say Brown was unarmed and had his hands up when he was shot multiple times. Tiffany Mitchell says she saw Brown outside the police car.
The kid breaks away and he started running away from the cop. The cop follows him and kept shooting, and the kid body jerked as if he was hit.
Michael Brown's body has been returned to his family. They're waiting for the official autopsy, and we've learned they're also planning to have an independent autopsy done. Scott?
And important to note, the FBI is conducting an independent investigation of the shooting. Mark, I wonder, is there anything in particular that you've noticed about these protests?
All trust with the police has been broken, Scott. Most of the protesters are outsiders, not from Ferguson, and more are showing up every day. This new police commander and this weekend are both hugely important.
Mark Strassmann in Ferguson. Thanks, Mark.